What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Derek Ruby Show. I am the previously mentioned Mr. Ruby, and this is episode 2, and we are talking Deadpool 2016. Fair warning, there will be spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, keep listening anyway. So, Deadpool, the movie, 2016. I love this movie. This movie was fantastic. Matter of fact, this movie had a $58 million budget, and it managed to gross $782.6 million. And that is no small feat for Deadpool, because Deadpool's kind of an obscure character. He was based off of a DC character named Deathstroke, whose real name is Slade Wilson, and Deadpool's name is Wade Wilson. But he's completely gone way beyond Deathstroke at this point. He's one of the most popular comic characters. He's constantly beating Spider-Man, going back and forth on Marvel's own website as to which one's more popular. And Deadpool really come a long way, because prior to this movie, he had been in a few video games, there had been some toys, he of course had been in the comics, but he was very obscure. Probably the most, he had been in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon and the Wolverine cartoon where he fought the Hulk, but he was probably most known for his when he was bastardized by the X-Men Origins Wolverine. Now, that movie specifically, if you watch that movie from the beginning, you see Wade Wilson and you see the character, and you actually think that he's pretty cool, because he has this awesome scene where he's like fighting with his katanas and doing all this cool stuff, and then they just completely bastardize him and ruin him, making him look just completely ridiculous with his mouth sewed shut. You're gonna sew the Merc with the mouth, You're gonna sew his mouth shut. So anyway, finally, after years of waiting, because I had been waiting years for this movie, Deadpool was released in February of this year, and it was fantastic. I mean, I waited. It was supposed to come out in 2010, then it was supposed to come out in 2012, and here we are, and Fox finally did it after some leaked test footage from somebody mysteriously out over there at Fox leaked out, and there was such a big outcry to want to get this movie made, and Ryan Reynolds has pushed and pushed and pushed for this movie to be made, and it was finally made. And so the movie starts off really strong. I mean, you see Deadpool, he's in a taxi cab. You kind of get a little feel for his character, and then the next scene you see him sitting on the bridge and he's singing the Salt and Pepper song. Then we go straight into one hell of an action scene, and the way that the movie's shot, it completely sets everything up. But before all that starts, when we have the opening credits, it is the most unique opening credits that you'll ever see. Instead of actually having the people that made the movie's names in the credits, they just talk about the generalization of the characters that are going to be in the movie, and it's pretty funny. Now, Deadpool is the type of movie that you generally don't want to watch with your kids, or with your mother for that matter, but even Ryan Reynolds himself, in the Deadpool character, asked kids, not to watch this movie, and probably because of scenes like these.
I've never said this, but don't swallow.
We all know how this turned out. Whoops. You weren't meant to see that.
Super penis.
So as you can see, the Deadpool movie, it can be a little raunchy at times, but it also has some really funny moments that even if you don't know the character, you could get a kick out of some of the things that happen, even if you're not into superheroes.
You're my hero.
No. That I ain't.
Take this scene, for instance.
Shit. Did I leave the stove on?
And as you can see right there, Deadpool can be hilarious, even just out of nowhere. Things happen all over the place. And this movie was really strong because they let Ryan Reynolds, you could just see the passion that he had when he made this movie. I mean, he even donated like $10,000, I believe. It was either 10 or 20, but I think it was 10 to Be Arthur's Children, just so he could wear her t-shirt in the movie. He said, what will it take for me to do this? And they wanted 10 grand to have Ryan Reynolds give it to a charity of their choice. And that's amazing because that's how much passion he had in it. And the director, Tim Miller, he did an excellent job. The cinematography was great. The whole movie was fantastic. Like I said, you go from the action scenes and then they give you flashbacks and they show you how Wade Wilson becomes Deadpool. And they really do a real good job of setting it up because instead of it just being the cliche romance story, it's actually a really funny and interesting romance story, and it really captivates you because it's told in such a unique way. And the reason this movie is so good is because it's probably the most faithful comic book adaptation of a character I've ever seen, versus like in the Wolverine movie, it was a very unfaithful adaptation, almost to the point of being Dragon Ball Evolution bad. Now, the only thing I can think of that even comes close to a faithful adaptation of characters would probably be the first Ninja Turtles movie, because that really followed their comics very well, but at the same time it kind of confused people because of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show at the time, but it was still a good movie nonetheless, and it's in the same vein, and I think this is way better than that because I've never seen a more faithful adaptation. The movie sets up the villain real well. I mean, you could see why he's so menacing and the things that he puts Wade through, and he steals his girlfriend, and, you know, the movie constantly is giving you humor and is constantly giving you jokes and just allowing it to be the way it's supposed to be, you know, and it makes making all the fans happy. I have not met one person that didn't like this movie. There have been some people I even encouraged to go see this movie, and it you know, and even they said that they thought it was cute or funny or whatever, and they enjoyed it. So unlike some previous movies, you know, where the you know, I have to shout out Fox for this, because unlike Sony with like Ghostbusters, where a movie is just completely shit because they don't listen to the fans, Fox did listen to the fans, because they could have easily made this movie PG-13 movie, but they didn't. They went ahead and let them make it a rated R, and you people need to keep supporting these rated R superhero movies, and they proved that they can be profitable, and you don't always have to play it safe. So this movie, like I said, it's got a lot of little things that for Deadpool fans in it. Weasel's in it. They had a scene where, you know, my whole theater, when I saw this live in the theater, the whole theater erupted when he saw Hydra Bob. Now, they couldn't call him Hydra Bob, they just called him Bob. And there were some people in the theater that didn't know who Bob was, but possibly they will go online and maybe possibly research it, but the whole theater exploded. And then they used a shield helicarrier, even though they mocked it up just enough to where Marvel couldn't sue them over using it, just to give the fans what they want, because the passion of these people, of Fox and the people that made this movie, really came out. And, you know, my hat's off to them, and I'd have to say that if you want to have a good time, if you want to just see a movie that's just going to make you laugh and give you some action and just really give it to you, it's probably the best superhero movie that's come out this year. So I give Deadpool a rating of 5 stars. And so if you haven't seen it, you need to go see it because it's pretty good. I mean, they really put the time into advertise this. The Christmas and Valentine's Day and all the TV spots they put in it were funny too. Ryan Reynolds does not shy away from wearing his mask in this movie. And unlike other superhero movies where the characters insist on showing their face constantly, you know, so you can see the actor's face, Ryan Reynolds wanted to just, you know, play this character all the way through. It's an excellent movie. Like I said, 5 stars. Go see it. Buy the DVD. Buy the Blu-ray. Get a digital download. Get all 3. Whatever it takes. But go out and see this movie. So thank you guys for tuning in to the Derek Ruby Show once again. You can follow me at Twitter at Derek187. I thank you very much. Please leave comments on a movie that you would like to see reviewed next. And I will see you next time right here.
I'm never gonna dance again the way I dance with you. Oh.